afternoon. We are live on Monday, January 12th, 2026. And we will call to order our workshop session. First order up, discussion regarding future meeting with Kentner Water Supply Corporation.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You can hear me now, can't you? Yeah. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is slated from the last council meeting. We discussed having a joint session with Kentner Water Supply and Lampasas City Council for the contract obligations. After discussing this with Kentner, their next available date to meet is actually going to be January 26th. So we're hoping to tie this off with the council meeting on the same day, if that's okay with y'all.
Okay.
Questions?
Any questions? That sounds good to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do want to point out, I think at the last meeting we had discussed having a joint meeting with the EDC on that same date, but Mayor, I've discussed it with you. You know, really the council wants to meet with EDC to talk about long-term goals and vision for EDC. We have so many new board members that are still setting their priorities and goals. So right now we've got 7 board members with 4 different goals each. So we're going to work on unifying those goals before we have a joint meeting with council so that it's a little more strategic instead of.
Okay. Good. All right. With that, we will move to item number 3, discussion and presentation of annual racial profiling report.
Mayor, Council, good evening. As our summary statement indicates in our agenda item, the police department is required to collect very detailed data on all of our traffic stops and present a racial profiling report to the state and then present it to the council before March 1st of every year. And of course, we do that. We follow it to the letter of the law. It's really become more of a racial profiling report to a very detailed traffic stop report. Anything from time of day to city to county road that passes through to any gender, any age, any time of night. Do we make an arrest? Do we get a warning? Do we get a ticket? Do we search a car? Do we find anything? Lots and lots of numbers. But we've completed our due diligence, and I think our officers and our records clerk, Kelly That does a great job. We had 3,658 traffic stops last year. Specifically on racial profiling, we had 0 complaints. I have looked at our numbers, and they're fairly consistent with the years past all across the board. Kelly checks these daily, literally on traffic stops, monthly in her monthly report, and then runs her annual as she has done a few days ago, which we're presenting to you tonight. Our Patrol Lieutenant Chuck Montgomery, again, is right on top of it on a regular basis. I see no issues. If anybody has any questions tonight or in the future, we're always open-minded for any discussions, but we try to do the best to spread the love as much as we can amongst everybody in a fair manner as it's intended to be, and I think these are in line with what we've always done every year.
Any questions for Chief?
Yeah, Chief, you mentioned that this is in line with past years. I'm just total curiosity, 3,658, is that a normal for a typical year? Is that?
Our total is down about 300 from last year. I can only guess, but we had several people in the police academy last year. I'm proud to say that next week we'll have all of those cadets. One has 1 more week in field training, and when she's out next week on her own, we'll have a full staff patrol division. And so the numbers go up next year. We hope they don't go up drastically because I think we do a pretty good job of not doing more than we should, but doing enough. But they should go up a little bit because we'll be fully staffed because we have 3 in training. They're all out. 1 next week we'll be fully staffed.
So you would say that would just be about an average year?
I think so, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good. I think it speaks good to humanity.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am?
This is traffic stops, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So other crime and arrests and that sort of thing is not tracked?
It is in detail. Our records clerk completes a very detailed end of the month report every month, and then a yearly report of all of our statistics. Everything for how many miles each car is driven, to how many warnings each officer issued, to how many calls for service, to how many reports. I could keep going. There was a time when each month that report was included in the packet, but going back 4 or 5 years ago, for whatever reason amongst council and managers decided it was a lot, and so they quit printing that monthly report and putting it in the packet. But we certainly have that, we do that. Kelly is very proud of it, she does a great job, and at any point if anybody is interested in seeing that, by all means, it's public information, but if not, we can get that to you as soon as we want. So,
Thank you, appreciate that.
but it's completely separate. Though our traffic is part of that, that is not this racial profiling report. This is exactly like the state of Texas tells us to do it, submit it, and bring it up.
Do your raw numbers compare to percentages of populations of the different races?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Do your raw numbers compare to the percentage of the population by race?
Well, this gets very confusing very fast. I've talked over the years, lots of people in class that's listened. That's difficult for me to say because I could say, okay, let's look at the demographics of the city. How many Anglo males are here? How many Asian females are in the city? And say based on their driver's license and their address listing, because I guess that's as close as we could, start with. And we could go down the list of genders and specific as far as races. And say, okay, well, let's compare that to the traffic stops. But you think of us as Lampasas, we're not apples to anybody. We've got 3 state highways, 2 north and south, 1 east and west. We're next to Fort Hood, a very diverse community that's getting closer every day. We've got a business down here that employs a lot of people from the east that sometimes they're running 24/7, and we could keep going. Do you see what I mean? And you compare that to another town. So another city might not even be close to being like ours as far as the traffic and who might come and go through there that's not really one of those residences. So it's hard to compare apples to any city. But I think you can look at the raw numbers and just say, does anything look like it's out of whack? And to be honest, that's really, the most that we can do, and you can do. That's why we're presenting it for you and anybody in the public to look at to say, hey, Chief, what about this? That looks a little different. Let's talk about it. And again, we're open for any recommendations or suggestions or double checks.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? All right, Chief, thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Very good report. Item number 4, discussion regarding Appendix A, fee schedule, changes for the hostess house and rental contracts.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The hostess house is nearing completion. We are hopeful to be totally done with it by the end of January. So we need to revisit our fee schedule, see kind of what needs to change there. We did pretty much get rid of every old fee that we had, revised the fee schedule, and we included a cleaning fee with a fee that's existing. If you charge it separately, you tend to have people who don't clean up after themselves, so we incorporated it with what's there. We are kind of running into some confusion whether we can rent both floors at the same time. You potentially run into some vandalism issues and not knowing which party is responsible for it. You run into issues of somebody downstairs rents it for a memorial service and someone upstairs has a birthday party. These are kind of some issues we have seen in the past, but obviously it's been a while since we've visited this. So, open for suggestions, comments, questions.
I don't like the idea of renting both floors at the same time to 2 separate parties.
You do not, or do?
No, I do not.
See,
I
I-
think we get into the confusion of who's in charge of what, and if you, like you said, you have a birthday party downstairs and a bereavement upstairs, and you could run into issues.
I disagree because during spring home when it's rented a lot, you've got so many different class, people looking for class, thank you, reunions. I was having a moment. Class reunions and where you can have the 2 floors independent. I do think that,
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that, especially during spring home, when you're talking about class reunions and stuff like that. I think it's prudent to think about who's renting and for what. If we're doing a celebration of life for my mother on the 1st floor, and then they're having a big ass beer party, excuse my French, on the 2nd floor, I just don't feel like that's the right.
but I feel like we should be able to rent it. We should be able to rent both floors out. But if somebody comes in to rent the bottom floor, and someone comes in to rent the top floor, then you should be able to say, well, the bottom floor is rented at that time for this event, or the top floor is rented at this time for this event. And then the people renting it would be able to make the decision, whoever's there first will be able to make that decision. Oh, well, yeah, I don't want that to happen.
I do also think it's worth noting the elevator only access from the first floor is to go, there is an entrance between the bathrooms, but there is a bridal suite right there, and once you get to the opening. So, if someone rents it for a wedding, and we rent for the top floor for something else, then they're going through everybody else's belongings for potential party guests to go upstairs.
So they're not really going through the party guests, they're going through this back hallway to the elevator with those that need the elevator.
But I understand that, there's no way to block off the bridal suite if, once you are dressed and ready to go, you leave all your things in the bridal suite and you go out and you're partying. There's not really anyone in there that's monitoring that.
Well, there's never anybody in there monitoring it, whether there's other people going in or not.
Correct.
Question, are both floors of bathrooms, handicap accessible?
I did confirm today there are some handicap stalls in the first floor bathrooms. Second floor are our ADA bathrooms, but I did confirm with our ADA inspector that it won't matter if we do individual floors. We can allow that.
Another question on the fee schedule. Nonprofits, I know quite a few smaller groups that are church groups or ladies groups or different groups, gatherings. Is there a provision thought of for nonprofit groups?
This was a discussion that staff's been having. We will add an addition. There's not an action item for this tonight. We will add an addition for 501c3s. There was one on the previous fee schedule. We just didn't copy it over. So we will add one for that.
And something like a baby shower or wedding shower would be in your current, the schedule you're proposing?
We do have it split, not by event unless it's a wedding. It's 4 hours, 8 hours, or full weekend is kind of how it's split up. The issue that we run into with cleaning is our current staff members that clean are giving up their lives, really. They're giving up all of their weekends. If we have someone that rents it Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, or Sunday, then they're having to go in Friday night, make sure everything's cleaned up, perfect, ready to go, so that whoever rented it Saturday can come in. Then we've rented it Saturday, and now they're having to come back Saturday night and have same cleaning available for Sunday. So we did go out for some quotes for cleaning. They range from $650 to $1,900.
So we took cleaning off, is that what you're saying?
We did include a cleaning fee in just the base price for rental. It's low, it's $50 per rental, but we're not going to recuperate our funds at the rates that we have if we're having to go out for those additional fees as well.
What I've found in past experience is if you charge the cleaning fee separate, there's an automatic mindset, oh, I don't really have to clean up after myself because I'm already paying them to do it. So if you build some of that into your base rental rate, you run into that less frequently.
Yeah, I get it.
To help kind of cover ourselves as well, we do have the rental agreement in your packet. We are hoping to kind of lay out exactly what's expected if you rent. So you take the trash to the dumpster that's right outside. You wipe the counters down, very basic things. I'm not asking them to clean toilets. But I am hopeful that if we do end up having to have someone come in on a Friday night so it's available Saturday, they're not spending hours cleaning it. It's some very basic maintenance items.
Can you do that like on a VRBO where you just have a list of here's what you're responsible for?
It would be similar to that. And in all honesty, the cleaning rates I received were based on preparing for Airbnbs and VRBOs. But they go based off of square footage, which is for the hostess house almost 7,000. So they're not cleaning all 7,000 square feet. So you get kind of a rough cleaning estimate if we're just asking them to do basic things and they go off of the full square footage.
It sounds like to me we kind of need to take a kind of common sense approach. If you've got a wedding there, you probably don't want to rent the place. And I don't know as far as staffing goes, you're gonna be responsible for that.
No, it will be our parks department. It'll be Luby.
I get both arguments that we had down here, but I kind of feel like it's gonna incentivize group A of renting both to keep somebody else from renting the second floor. And I think it could help generate a little more income just so that person or group won't have other people renting with them.
And if we did have, and if we are gonna rent the floors individually, would it be $150 per floor for 4 hours, or would it be?
I would suggest if you're gonna try to incentivize someone to rent the second floor, that you offer a discount for the second floor that's being rented.
I agree. That's like half price for the second part of it.
You also run into an occupancy situation. Currently, it's 117 downstairs and 128 upstairs for a total of 245 for the entire building. So if they're renting one floor, either way, we pretty much have to put a cap at 100 people. We can have no more than 100. You rent the entire building, and then we're kind of capping, 200 somewhere around there, because additional people are going to show up. You have caterers, things like that. I do think you have to look at it also in an occupancy load. If you have someone wanting to rent only one floor, but they have 200 people they're inviting, we can't do that.
Right, I mean, the occupancy is a part of it.
Right.
And then in the rental agreement?
Truly, I'd have to.
It's not in the rental agreement that's in this packet yet, but it will be included.
Where did y'all come up with these figures? Did we get comps from other places?
The benchmark cities that were used were Marble Falls, Belton, Coppers Cove, Burnett, Gatesville, Brownwood, Early, Hondo, and Bree.
The rental agreement in the packet came from Burnett, and we modified it to kind of meet what we're striving for.
What do they rent, just curious?
They have an event center.
They do have an event center?
Of a similar square footage. Yes, with a similar
I believe they have 2 event centers, if I'm not mistaken.
They have 2 event centers. One's a smaller meeting area, which is a more big open room, and the other one's multiple rooms. So.
Then we do have provisions in the document regarding cleaning and the deposit.
Yes.
So there is an option if you didn't touch anything, we're keeping your deposit.
And then what about like the kitchen? Would that go with the second floor? Would that go with the first floor, or would that be independent?
It would be the first floor only. Logistically, it gets very difficult to separate that out.
Absolutely.
Just second floor use.
I didn't know if the kitchen was gonna be like separate. Like, you are gonna use the kitchen, you're not gonna use the kitchen, 'cause that would be if it's cleaning. Because if they're not touching the kitchen, they're not supposed to go in there.
There is a pass-through window from the kitchen to the first floor, so even if they're not using it, there's no way to guarantee that they're not using it. If some form of vandalism happens on the outside of the building and you have someone on the second floor that's rented it and someone on the first floor, there's no way to guarantee who did it. As of right now, we do not have video cameras that face the hostess house. It's in the works, we've been talking to IT about it. But, as of right now, there's no way for us to guarantee that we can trust the people that are renting it.
Being able to put video cameras everywhere else, I think that's something we definitely need to look into.
It is definitely in the works with IT.
And what's the amount of cleaning that y'all included in the base price? You said
$50 per line item.
Yep, I just think, maybe it's just me, but I think some of these rates are set too low. I think we could.
Well, that was gonna be the next question, like, how do you feel about these benchmark items as we're pushing this forward? Do you think there's room to move up on these rental fees?
Well, I'm just trying to remember, Ashley and I got married in 2010, and we used one of those places in Burnett, and I thought it was several $1,000s.
Yeah, but have you been in there yet? It's not an event. It's nice, but I wouldn't pay
I
highly.
went in there, I went to an event and I thought it was pretty nice.
If
Just recently, like with the new fixes?
Mhm.
you're getting married there, most of the reason you're getting married there is for the historic value, or you're from here, or you just have ties to it. Most people aren't. It sounds bad. Most people aren't going there for the looks. They're going for the experience.
And nostalgia and affordability. So
Right.
I think the rates are good.
As much money as we just spent on this thing, I think we can generate a little more income off of it. Yeah, $50 for cleaning, I don't think it's gonna
I agree on cleaning, anything more than that here helps. Really consider it. The other option question I have is a facility rental application, the alcohol on property. There will be police presence if there's alcohol, is that correct?
Correct, that is city ordinance. I did make a revision after the packet went out. It does say that we may require police officers to be there, and then a little further down it says we will, so I changed the may to will, so they coincide.
Thank you.
If you have recommendations for the fees, do you have a specific amount you're wanting us to look at? Would you prefer that we have a special session to discuss this? We need a little bit of direction so I can bring it back for approval.
I'm just curious, the alcohol use deposit refundable, what's refundable?
If there's no damage to the facility. When you introduce alcohol into an event, there may be a higher likelihood.
I just didn't understand what was refundable reading through this.
It looks like the only thing that's refundable are the deposits if the building is intact and everything's been picked up and all that stuff.
And in the past, the cleaning fee was refundable as well. So that's an option if you'd like to look at that. But either way, we are having someone go in and clean after every event.
What was the thought process about when we're gonna open this up for rentals?
The goal would be that by next meeting, we can adopt a fee schedule and looking at a February opening.
So Eric, I had a question. So like what you're saying, like what about like if you're looking at the hourly stuff, you don't think that that's too high, do you? I mean too low. But you're talking about like if you're gonna rent it for like the whole wedding for the whole.
I think it's all too low.
See, because I don't think. See, I wish that there was that you could do like a 2-hour window instead of a 4-hour window.
I don't think a 2-hour window would be enough because it includes setup and breakdown time. You need, you had a 2-hour event, you need an hour before, hour after.
Essentially, yeah. But if you had an event in the and then are you gonna have people in there cleaning? So if you had an event in the morning, a 4-hour event in the morning, and a 4-hour event in the afternoon, that's what, $300? But if you were to rent it all day for the 8 hours, it's also $300. I see what you're saying. Oh, those are weekdays.
Another way that maybe you could generate it too is like on your weekend rate. You know, you have Friday at noon to Sunday at noon. Extend those periods, give them an optional period. Hey, you can give me Friday at 8 for an extra fee if you would need extra time set up, or bump that all the way back to Sunday at 8 for an extra fee if you need more time cleaning up too. So just a little bit of an option. They can pay for the option, but it's just a little idea just to try to rent a little bit of revenue.
All we did with the 4-hour and 8-hour time or fees is we doubled the 4 hours. There was not significant thought that was put into it.
I don't know, maybe we could have like a workshop, talk about fees.
Like a special session, we already.
I mean, it's such a special thing. Yeah, I'm not that smart.
Could you bring in the breakdown compared to what the rates were?
For cleaning?
For the rates?
We have the benchmark numbers, so we can make those available.
So at the next meeting, or a meeting in between to have a discussion regarding hospitality?
Sure.
Either that or we can maybe have a benchmark at the next workshop, so that way everybody can see, you know, where they came up with the numbers. Because I think not knowing, instead of us just like grasping at straws and saying, oh, these look good, without having the knowledge of where these numbers came from.
I can go ahead and send those to you tomorrow, just so we're progressing and adopting this fee schedule for February.
That sounds
And the weekend, Friday at noon to Sunday at noon. Are we cleaning between?
No,
No.
you would
Okay,
have,
they rented it, they're cleaning in between, okay.
essentially what you're looking at with that is a wedding. Someone wants to come set up the night before and clean up the next day.
Okay.
It's typically what you're gonna get with those types of rooms.
Where do you see that one, Charlie?
That's
The very first one for $1,000.
Because like that one there, cause
Oh,
cause if you're shut for $1,000, if they're having it for Friday, Saturday,
It's
Sunday.
closed for the weekend.
It's closed for the weekend, and you were gonna get $400 for one day, so $800 for the 2 days. And you're still closing it for half a day Friday. That one does seem low.
Yeah, because I mean, $800 or $200 a week for the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think that almost needs to be $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, on that.
Just for blocking it out.
Yeah, for the whole entire weekend, I think that $1,000 is low.
The other one's not good room.
Would you like it to be around, just
I'm
math in
thinking
my
two,
head,
I
like,
think $2,000. You want it from Friday noon to Sunday noon?
I was looking at the $800 workday wedding rental, so I was kind of looking
Yeah,
at
no, I
maybe 2,400, but I
I
can.
don't think that's a question.
I don't think $2,000 is out of the question. I mean, I don't,
I know when we brought in rooms, we had a hard time finding anything under $1,500.
Is that the only fee you're asking me to change?
I would like all of them to go up a little bit, but
Let's practice those ones.
I would like to see some of the benchmark numbers good.
We'll get those benchmark numbers to you tomorrow. If you can send me some sort of an idea, I'll throw something together for the next meeting.
yeah, if we include the pool rental and whole 9 yards.
That would be quite different. We'd have to staff lifeguards. So.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We can get super complicated if you want.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion regarding any items on the regular session for January 12th, 2026. There is none. Discussion regarding any items not included on the regular session for January 12th, 2026. For consideration on future agendas, no action can be taken by council. Anything on that? And there is none. And we get a motion to adjourn the workshop.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All rise.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we couldn't be more grateful to be in this great community tonight, here with the city of Lampasas and citizens and representatives. We ask that you be with us, let us have some good discussion, make some good decisions, for the betterment of your entire community. We ask that you specifically be with our community today, East Copper's Cove, and the loss of their police officer this last weekend in a horrific incident. Please be with that young man's family, be with the citizens, and be with the Copper's Cove Police Department. We ask that you be with us, watch over us from our sins, watch over us in safety, forgive us our sins, and as always, in Jesus' name, amen.
You want to join us with the pledges? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to these one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We have some presentations and proclamations, annual recognition. Yes, go in there and take over that.
It's just a very simple thank you from staff to the mayor and council for everything you guys do for the city. Annually, we present you all with a silver dollar, so please take this expression of our gratitude and thank you for all you do.
We thank you, I know silver's gone way up, but it's still forward to our retirement, so thank you. Public hearing, citizens comment. Any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter not included on the agenda may do so at this time. For possible posting and discussion by council on future agendas, the city council may not deliberate on items presented under this item. And there is none on that. 1.2, any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter that is included on the agenda may do so at this time. And we don't have anybody on that. Consent agenda, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of minutes of regular meetings held on December the 15th, 2025. Discussion and possible action regarding the second reading of an ordinance amended the adopted budget for the municipal government of the city of Lampasas for the fiscal year of October 1st, 2025 to September the 30th, 2026. Discussion and possible action regarding the purpose and charges in excess of $4,000 from December the 1st through 2025 to December the 31st, 2025.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
That's me. You're sitting on the key fob. Chief, you're supposed to be doing your job. Oh, Lord.
I did look out the window.
Tell me to
Oh. City manager's operational report. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to get a motion on the consent agenda, and we already did that, okay, well, my head went somewhere else.
I have a motion and a second.
Okay, now we need a vote, all right, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
All right, Mayor and Council, just a couple of items this evening. Excited to announce that Micah Harry has been promoted to the electrical superintendent. John Lockett has been promoted to electric crew supervisor. We have hired 2 new linemen in the electric department, and just of note, Kyle Harrison has passed his testing for Apprentice 3 and is now an Apprentice 4. So we were really super concerned when Wayne left. He left some really big shoes to fill, but we've got a full electric department. We're really excited about that. We've got some great personnel there, so I'm very happy about that. As y'all are aware, there was a water line break, a contractor busted a water line between Kempner and Copper's Cove. Van and Stephen may have a little bit more of an update on that, but there is a welder on site. They've been excavating the site. If all goes well, that will be repaired late this evening. If not, we'll obviously keep you guys updated on that. We did enact stage 5 water restrictions.
It's, the main is patched, they should be turning the water on any moment now.
Even better. So we'll let the public know when those restrictions are lifted. Staff and Mr. Jones had a meeting with AFNA last week on the 90% design for the pre-treatment facility at the Ajinomoto site. They've been very receptive to staff feedback when we feel like there can be improvements in the plans. Jason and his team are right on top of that, so they are proceeding. They appear to be on schedule right now, unless it's all going as good as it can be. So we're grateful for AFNA's design team working with us on that. On the finance end, auditors will be on site over the next several weeks to start on the FY25 audit. So we're getting all of those things rolling, working on kicking out W-2s and 1099s for our staff and contractors. You guys are probably aware that we updated the format of our utility billing from the postcard to a full page mailer. It's 8.5 by 11, full sheet of paper. We had money budgeted to replace the little dot printer, the ancient technology that we were using, and the burster, which is a special machine that perforates the postcards, and then we would spend significant staff time manually tearing those postcards apart and processing them to get them out of the mail. And we did purchase an envelope stuffing machine, which is being utilized citywide from the funds that were budgeted to replace the printer and the burster. So we are able to utilize a current printer that City Hall has been using to print all those utility bills, and the envelope stuffer to insert those bills into their envelopes and get them out for mailing. It has saved, we're still working out the bugs, but it's saving a significant amount of staff time. We have 3 billing cycles plus late notices that go out, and it's saving a significant amount of staff time pushing through all of that. In addition to it's being utilized by other staff members. So Vicki, for example, every other Friday is stuffing payroll stubs into envelopes, and it would take 4, 5, 6 hours of her time, amongst other things that she's doing. She can now run those through the envelope stuffer in a matter of minutes and get them distributed. When we have water notices that we need to send out, we're going to be able to get those out much quicker than we would by having staff manually fold those letters and push them out. To the point that we had a vacant part-time utility billing clerk position that we're going to be able to cut. There's not going to be a need to fill that. It's freed up enough staff time for the utility billing girls. So
is there an option on that just to have it online delivered? Or?
There is, and we are looking at that. It will also help twofold. Not only would we be able to send our utility bills digitally, we can actually send our staff pay stubs digitally, novel thought, and save a lot of trees. So we are looking at that. It's going to be a several $1,000s transition, but we are getting all that pricing to look at going into the next budget.
As a citizen, I'd like to say thank you because I just got one and it's so much easier to read and understand than the last one, so thank you for doing that.
My pleasure. Do you guys have any questions?
I have a separate question. With the holiday coming up, I get several complaints, but more questions on when we have trash service picked up when there's a holiday on Monday. Could you clarify that?
Well, that's not working, so the only holidays that Frontier are off is Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. Our old company was closed for several holidays. This one is only closed for those 3, which means they push services from whatever day that holiday falls on, to the next business day. Other than that, they are regular schedule as normal.
So that was Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and New Year's
Day.
3.2, upcoming special events and meetings.
We are closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's all I have for you. There's not a lot going on.
And there's a lot going on.
And trash is normal.
Supposedly.
Maybe not for Charlie, but for everyone else. That's all I have for you.
All right, that's good.
We moved to 4.1.
Did what?
We moved to 4.1.
Next. 4.1, okay, I'm listening. Discussion and possible action regarding approval to declare a 2005 John Deere 3225C lightweight fairway mower as a surplus fleet to allow staff to dispose of according to state law.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Jesse was unable to be here tonight, and Stephen went home sick today. So they are asking for this mower to be removed from service. Well, it was removed from service in 2019. They're asking to declare it as surplus, allow us to place it on GovDeals and sell it so it's no longer taking up space in their shop. It was removed due to the cutting units needing to be replaced, and the cost of repair supersedes the cost of the vehicle.
I'm gonna make a motion to declare the 2005 John Deere 3225C lightweight fairway mower as surplus fleet and allow staff to dispose of as state law allows.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion and possible action regarding the approval to declare a 2007 Kubota zero-turn mower. Turn mower as surplus fleet to allow staff to dispose of according to state law.
Mayor and council, this was removed from service in 2024 due to a blown head gasket and a few additional mechanical issues. Again, the cost of repair would supersede the cost that the mower is worth.
Make a motion to declare 2007 Kubota zero-turn mower as surplus fleet and allow staff to dispose of as state law.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Thank you.
4.3, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of proposal from Jones Leroy and Associates regarding the Highway 190 and FM 580 entry point improvement project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just to give you a brief history on this, since it's been a minute. Per city request, Jones Leroy and Associates developed the City of Lampasas upper pressure plane study that outlined numerous things, including 5 to 10 year capital improvement recommendations. The Highway 190 FM 580 entry point improvement project is one of those capital recommendations. This will allow for effective mixing of the disinfectant chemical we use in the drinking water system. It will provide a solution to staff safety and ensure significant long-term use. This proposal from Jones Leroy and Associates is just going to be task 1A, 2A, and 2B, land easement and acquisition support, project management, and design plans and specifications. Essentially, just the preliminary engineering to get the project underway, which is what we hope to take care of this year.
This is, what fund is this coming out of?
This is going to come out of the capital expenditures, building and grounds.
I move to approve the Highway 190 and FM 580 entry point improvement proposal from Jones Leroy and Associates for the amount of $234,000.
Second.
Any other questions?
Question, timeline on this?
Timeline on this, it's really going to be dependent on land acquisition, which we're working on separately from Jones Leroy. Their firm will handle some surveying work for us, but the land acquisition is merely going to be up to staff and council. We're currently working on it. We've been in discussions, just on granting access to one property. We haven't been able to make contact with the other as of yet. So, as of right now, I can't say that I have a timeline, but once land acquisition has been taken care of. Jason, do you have an idea on just this part of the proposal?
Yeah, we'll carry this through full design with this proposal and TCEQ approval. And so the full design for civils, about 4 months, electrical and structural, another 3 months, and TCEQ approval is probably about 2 months. Just a rough timeline. So once we get the land acquired, it's not going to stop us from putting together design while Steven's working on land acquisition. We're going to keep moving and do what we can.
Thank you, Jason.
Any other questions? Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion and possible action regarding the purchase of a transformer from Texas Electric Cooperative from Sefco Tesla Supercharger in the amount of $31,860.
Mayor and Council, Tesla is partnered with Sefco on this project. They're looking to put some of their superchargers on the Sefco site. Tesla has requested a separate transformer. As part of that, they were reimbursing the City of Lampasas the total cost of that transformer. Micah followed the purchasing policy. He went out for 3 quotes. We selected the one with the shortest lead time and cheapest price, which would be TEC.
What do you do when you get other electric cars brands? Are they going to be able to charge?
Are they compatible?
Yes.
That's a great question. Does anyone have the answer to that? No.
You can get adapters from them. You can get adapters from them.
They'll all have to have their own.
You can get an adapter to operate off of that.
Okay.
Scrap a generator.
So this just covers the cost of the transformer, doesn't, you gotta run wire,
Yes.
you got manpower, who's reimbursing us for that?
So I believe there was a tap fee initiated for SEPCO, which recouped that. The transformer cost is historically encompassed by the city. Tesla has just offered to reimburse it. So all other fees have been collected as far as my knowledge.
We are looking at updating that moving forward so that the city's not bearing the entire burden of the cost of upgrading.
I'm just thinking, what all, the only thing we're getting reimbursed for is the transformer.
Everything else is encompassed.
They're making money off of this thing.
We are too.
Right, and we will too through electricity.
Everything else is going to be is going to be reimbursed or encompassed in the initial fees for service connection. Moving forward, we will be trying to get reimbursed for those initial transformer costs for at least commercial customers moving forward, because we are taking that loss right now, and we do seek to fix that.
Make a motion to award the bid for the purchase of the transformer for the Texas Electric Cooperative for the SEPCO Tesla Superchargers in the amount of $31,860. Second.
Any other discussion, questions? All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
4.5, discussion and possible action regarding updating and authorizing signatories on Rio bank account, former Lone Star Capital Bank.
Mayor and council, we have been trying to gain access. I've emailed this bank a couple of times and I hadn't gotten any response, and finally got a hold of someone at the Marble Falls branch. We are needing to update our signature card before they will give us any access to any of the accounts. There are no current employees that have recently been employed with the city that are on that signature card, so this is bringing it current to match what's on the signatures of other depositories that we have. So we're asking for Mayor Pro Tem, myself, and City Secretary to be added to the signature card for Rio Bank.
Make a motion to authorize Herb Pierce, Catherine McKinney, Aaron Harrison, and Kaylee Stanley as signatories for accounts held at Rio Bank, formerly Lone Star Capital Bank.
Second.
What funds do we hold at this bank?
This is it's a concentration of multiple funds. So it's we've taken excess funds from general fund, electric fund, economic development fund, and they're all being held jointly in an account at Rio.
Is this the bank that I need to continue doing business
I
with?
think
or do
I
we
would prefer to close it out and move it to payments.
Okay.
Do we still have access to those funds?
No.
No. Yeah, I think we need to move on from that.
Yes. I think that would be a good idea. Let's consolidate.
Is it interest bearing or anything?
It is.
Oh, that's not bad.
How long has that account been open?
It's been through several name changes. It started at Lone Star Capital Bank. I don't have the exact timeline on it, but many years.
Then we have no access, we have no idea how much money is.
No, I know how much. I mean, yeah, we just don't have access to move anything
Okay.
or direct access to get online and download bank statements because they're only doing digital bank statements, and so it's granting us access to get everything straightened out. But I would prefer to move it. While they do have a branch in Marble Falls, I would prefer to move it locally.
Rendering.
Do I need to amend that motion, or will that be coming later?
I can move that money to a local depository without council authorization, unless you would prefer that.
All right. So we have a second?
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
4.6, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lampasas County, State of Texas, authorizing and designating the official signature of the City of Lampasas for banking and depository services.
This is a more blanket resolution authorizing these same folks. We keep running into walls where we still have Christina Mares listed as city secretary. We still have Finley listed as city manager. So this is a more blanket resolution to get us access to not necessarily bank accounts, but like we had the Mission Square before, we're just running into a lot of those accounts that we just need to be able to get access
Make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing and designating the official signatures for the city of Lampasas for banking and depository services.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and consider the selection of the winner of the city's website photo contest.
Make a motion for entry number 7.
I said it first, so we're on.
Whatever you want. I'm not gonna necessarily vote.
There a second on Charlie's motion?
Got a second on one.
I kinda like number 5, actually.
Which one are you gonna say, Mom? Let's vote.
You let me know when you're ready.
I'm still on 1.
I have a motion and a second on one.
All right, we have a motion and a second on one. All in favor?
Aye.
Dead.
All right.
No, just like that.
We never get fall around here, we have to pick that one.
I have this said. I'm pretty sure David said that once before.
All right, 4.8, moving on. Discussion and possible action regarding the joint election agreement between Lampasas Independent School District and the City of Lampasas.
The city, county, and Lampasas Independent School District have held joint elections since 2007 as a result of federal law that required schools to contract with another public entity for joint elections. This is the same joint agreement that comes every year with one modification to allow for the bond that the school district is holding this year.
I make a motion to approve the joint election agreement between the Lampasas Independent School District and the City of Lampasas and authorize the mayor to execute the related documents.
Second.
I have just one question. You said the bond is on there,
Yes.
date or a different date? The date, same date, right?
Yes, yes, sir. It'll be a part of the same election.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand, the addition is the bond.
To allow for them to hold the bond election with this same election. So there's a,
So is there an additional cost for that? Or is
we
there?
all, no, we all share the
Okay.
cost of it, but this is just modifying that they're adding that.
Okay. I just thought that was kind of strange, because they put whatever they want on their elections. I didn't know why that needed to be so.
I received it from the school district, so I just brought it to you.
So you just wrote it out, so, got it.
So the school board election included plus the bond and plus council.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
4.9, discussion and possible action regarding the first reading of an ordinance amending chapter 78, traffic and vehicles by amending Article 3, stop, standing, and parking, section 78-223 of the city's code of ordinance titled Parking Time Limited General Exceptions, regulating the parking of vehicles on public streets, providing a repealer clause, severability clause, and providing an effective date.
Staff has noticed an abundance of vehicles occupying city-owned parking lots. We have received a few complaints regarding this. There are some safety concerns, and in addition, there's some access issues that we're running into. So we've modified our existing ordinance to allow for city-owned parking lots as well.
Question, do we have a problem with overnight vehicle parking, for instance, campers and people who are seasonal types of situations?
In city parking lots, the specific ordinance allows for 72 hours.
And are these vehicles registered, taxes paid, they're good to go, legal on the road.
They're still legal.
I mean, like, we're,
We do have a separate ordinance, in reference to unusable vehicles. Jody may be able to speak more to.
The problem that we run into is specifically in the parking lot next to the skate park and also in the library parking lot. Some of the neighbors are parking vehicles there or trailers with tires on it or vans for months at a time.
and so,
And
if
so it's
we
not.
have an ordinance that covers 72 hours.
It only says roadways or alleyways. It doesn't refer to
So
parking
now
lots.
we're adding
City
parking
lots.
Okay, that's where I was confused on part of this. I mean, if it's a legally titled vehicle and it's registered and they park it on public property, I have a hard time saying you can't park it there because you pay taxes and you can park on public property. But however, if you're just leaving it there, just leave it there and it's in an unusable state, do we define that in this?
Well, they can park it there for 72 hours and then move it and park it there again.
Well, and I'm thinking from a landlord perspective, if it's there for 24 hours on my property, and it can be considered abandoned. Is that point through the state of Texas?
We do have citizens that come and ask, they're leaving town for a week, they don't want to leave their vehicles at their house, they're afraid of vandalism, so they'll ask to come and leave it in our parking lot because there's someone here almost 24/7. In that situation, I mean, it's something that we can grant. This covers us from unlawfully using our parking lots for your storage of your vehicles without even having a conversation with us to see if that's okay.
I understand.
And do we have somebody to enforce this?
We do.
She doesn't have anything else to
He's
do.
already on top of it, so we're doing
Alright.
this to cover ourselves.
At the 580 Sports Complex, we close that off during the evening hours, every day, 10 p.m. So we lock off the parking area.
It's not one
We don't actually close it, we just have an ordinance stating you can't be in our parks facilities past that time.
And that's any park facility.
Correct.
So then that should take care of the overnight parking and park,
Not the library.
but not the library.
But we could rent out spaces.
Charlie's just trying to make money.
I mean, if I lived in a van down by the river. Or Christmas party.
I recommend approving the first reading of the city ordinance, chapter 70A, traffic and vehicles by amending the article 3, stop, standing, and parking, section 78, 223 of the city ordinance titled, parking time limited generally expectation. Regulating the parking of a vehicle on public streets, providing a repealer clause, a severability clause, and providing an effective date. Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
4.10, discussion and possible action regarding renewal of the lease agreement between the city of Lampasas and the county of Lampasas Rodeo Association for the 580 Sports Complex Rodeo Arena.
Mayor and council, this was on the last workshop item, 2 meetings ago. And we did bring back the exact same agreement that was passed the last time. We updated the president information on there, and we also supplied the agreement between the Lampasas County Rodeo Association and the Lampasas Riding Club.
I have a question. So does that limit the rodeo arena to only be used by the riding club and the rodeo association? What about like 4-H, FFA, outside people? Are those available to be able to use it since it is a public facility?
You should have to go through them.
Yeah, so how we had it evening, sorry, I'm ahead of the day today. Like we had it last time, they would have to go through us to schedule it. what we have done is, and I can hand y'all just a tentative list that we have originally come up with, but, Riding Club, because of the partnership we've agreed upon, has first dibs. They have 12 events that's their high points, their junior rodeo, and then a possible 7th with an extra couple, just in case they decide to do another event. So they have first dibs on their calendar, per our agreement. And then everybody would have to come through us so we can make sure it doesn't conflict with an event that we put on, and a weekend if someone calls us or rents it out for public riding.
So they can rent it out
Yes, ma'am.
if it's available. And what are the fees and who gets those fees?
So the Lampasas, the county of, the rodeo association would get those fees. I have the public fee. I left my other fees for the events sitting on my computer because I was trying to get kids out for tumbling. So I can give you all a copy of what we have for the public. I printed those off. We are doing a half day, full day, and a yearly membership. The only thing we've separated out is the lighting in case someone wants to do after hours. We are tacking on a fee this time for lighting because per that agreement that y'all are looking at on the renewal, the rodeo association is supposed to be taking care of the power out there.
And y'all are paying full power.
Per that agreement, yes ma'am. If I remember correctly from last year, that was the agreement that we take care of the lighting. So we tack that on there, and then we have a cleanup fee just in case we do have some people out there that do rent it for an event. They can, and if they don't clean it up, it's not, Steven and their guys' job to pick it up. So we have that on there just in case that does come into effect. And plus with like the riding club, if they go out, we all have a task to make sure our parks stay clean is the plan.
But, okay, so is there a fee for the day, or did you say they have to join?
Here. This is just the public one. And then I can email y'all a copy or Aaron a copy of our event that we reduced our prices compared to last year.
I also want to mention these prices can be changed. This was just an initial idea. We kind of are flexible on that, but felt like a fair price that would encourage people to come, but also help cover costs of maintaining the area.
And how does this compare to last year's agreement?
So last year's agreement, it was $25 an hour. And this time we're making it a little bit more feasible to where they have half a day, because really if you do it by $25 an hour, you're looking at, most riders are gonna be there for 2 hours because you have your saddling time, getting ready, prepped, all of that. So that does cut into it. Allowing them to have up to 5 hours gives them time to be flexible, in a sense of if they're laying up on, 5 horses, trying to, do different things or just work them in a sense. This gives them the option a little bit more flexible to get what they need to accomplish and why they're renting the arena.
And what's your, I'm sure it's in here, what's your policy on food and alcohol?
So per our other agreement as of last year, there's no alcohol. They have to go through, because it's a city facility, they have to go and get permitted through the police department. The same way we do with the rodeo. All events, same thing. We do not allow it unless you go get your permit, and obviously then they bring it to city council for city council to approve. Am I correct, Jody, on that? Yes.
I make a motion to approve the renewal of the lease agreement between the city of Lampasas and the county of Lampasas Rodeo Association for the 580 Sports Complex Rodeo Agreement.
Second.
Any other discussion?
Only question I had is kind of like we went over on the hostess house, is the cleanup fee too small? Because here it says $50 cleanup fee if the arena is not left in clean condition. To me, that's not very much.
That's on them. That's on.
Yeah, it's on us, but we're talking. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But it's one of those things. It's kind of a try to keep honest people honest in a sense, and we hope that's not the case. They're still pretty good about it, but we still have people try to, kind of put one past you, and this is a way to kind of just enact that in a sense.
How often y'all gonna drag this?
That is one thing we're trying to figure out, because when we're doing it after every rider, you have to think, what's the price for red dye right now? You get a better discount.
$3.
So you're looking at $3 for diesel, then you got time for, 25 hours. We are looking at trying to do maybe every other week, and then put that on our website and our Facebook and then at that point, it's their discretion if they want to, and they can easily call, and we can figure it out. We're super, we're gonna work together and just try to figure it out. We're not gonna leave it to where, but on our website, we're gonna do every other week, and then they can choose to kind of ride at that week, or if it's something different, then, so him and I don't live far from it, to where we can just drive through, say, hey, it needs to be drugged or watered, let's get out there and do it, to just make sure we stay on top of it. But it was tough trying to do it after every single rider, because we ended up losing a lot of money, just between diesel, time, and all of that. And, then you run into the problem is say someone rented it, and then they didn't show up at their designated time, and then they just cancel it all, and then you look at that, I just wasted that fuel and all of that kind of stuff. So that's a way to kind of just say, hey, this is the precedence, so we don't get overloaded, but, if we'll go out there constantly just to make sure that everything looks good.
Is there any plans on any events or anything coming in?
Yeah, here, I also printed out a tentative schedule of events in case, so y'all have an idea of all what's happening that we have so far if we got the agreement.
We have actually a separate meter just for the rodeo arena. How do we see that?
Yeah. It's better than Excel spreadsheet, because I'm an Excel spreadsheet person and it's a little much. So this has got the riding club, our roundup, and then Open Gate Cowboy Church actually wants to move their events from Bar 17 to our arena, which will be awesome as well. They do cutting, or cow horse and some cutting, so that'll be cool to see in our arena, and then, our junior rodeos and stuff like that. So I think, okay.
No, you finished.
No, I was done.
How is that horse virus?
It's for the virus.
Spell like COVID.
Yeah. It's pretty, after Vegas, it was really more after Vegas, it was kind of everyone honed in on that, and it's mellowed out. We still keep updated, of course, we'll all, between us and even the riding club, it's gonna be our responsibility to stay up with those Brazos Valley. They do a good job keeping up with all of that and the updates. So then that's gonna be our call. If we have outbreaks or anything like that, then we shut it down, none of it. So thank y'all for your time.
Thank you.
Motion. Second. All in favor? Aye. 4.12. Oh, I'm sorry, 4.11, discussion and possible action regarding the closure of Marina Road for golf tournaments.
Mayor and council, we are requesting to close a portion of Marina Road for golf tournaments for the middle school, high school, and a select few city-sanctioned tournaments that have a high number of restrictions. We don't have the bridge repaired yet, so this will be basically until we finish that bridge.
What are the select tournaments?
So the major, these are major tournaments that we have Memorial, actually there's several. The January 26th and 28th of this month is the high school boys and high school girls tournament. We have the Mad Dog tournament, which is a 2-day tournament in March, that's the 21st and 22nd. April 6th is the middle school tournament. Tentatively, we have another one for Young Life, that's April 18th. I don't know yet if we're going to have the district tournament this year because we had it last year, so they may be moving district to middle school this year. And then obviously the Memorial Weekend tournament, that's a big one, which would be the 23rd, 24th, 25th. The Badger Booster fundraiser is June the 6th. We have the West Texas Junior Golf, that's June 11th.
June 27th is Show Me the Money, 27th and 28th, and then July 15th, we just added the US Kids Junior Golf Tournament. I just kind of left it through July. I mean, obviously, there's a couple more after that, but once we get through July, it kind of slows down.
What's the progress on the bridge? Progress on the bridge.
So we've allocated the funding for it, now we're gonna work on the bid documents and get that released for bid. And hope that we get some, I'll be honest, we released our first post FEMA bid and did that bid opening today, and we received one bid and it was incomplete. So there's a lot.
So I guess my question is, what is the Mad Dog tournament, and like what designates a large tournament?
That's going to be 120 to 200 players for that. And really and truly, these are our major ones. Other stuff that we have that's I kind of just, if there's anybody that wants to have something that's under 120, we really just try to give them just tee times, and just especially if they're winning it on weekends. I mean, we accommodate on the weekends. These are the big ones. Most people can't get to that number.
About how many of those folks come to Mount County?
So the Mad Dog, I would say good. I bet it's 50-50. The Mad Dog, the AC January, the Memorial, and the Show Me the Money tournament. We get a lot of out of town play on those.
I mean, I talked to the hotels and I asked them what their biggest influx, and it's golf tournaments. So they bring a lot of people in.
I've talked to the Golf Association a little bit on that because they were just kind of curious. You know, I don't know for sure if they can't speak 100% if they're going to do it, but they had mentioned when players come in to register and pay, just giving them like a little form or a little sheet to fill out, just where they're staying. Is it Airbnb? Is it what hotel you're staying at? So we can kind of get an idea of how many from out of town we actually get.
It's not a too many questions, that or somebody's being here.
Well, sounds good.
And then I'll get with Jody and or Chief Cummings and Chief Davis on when we have those road closures. And we'll close it in the morning, and then as soon as the tournament wraps up, we'll open the road back up.
We will push that out to the public as well, so everyone should be notified.
Make a motion to approve the closure of the River Road for golf tournaments.
Second.
I'd like to, I had a question about, can we amend that so we can say with tournaments over 250 people? Excuse me, 120 people? Because if you leave it the way this is, like let's say they have the Jeff Jarowski Memorial.
Well, that one's usually 120 to 140.
Yeah, I mean, like if you had some Peyton Jones Memorial tournament, I mean, if you had a tournament that is not over the 120, and this says just tournaments.
We just need to make it a little bit more festive than just golf.
So, back to kids tournaments, for example, you're going to get 70 to 80 kids on those, but they're all walking. And they require them to walk for those tournaments. So they're going to be walking down the Red Road. That was my biggest concern, especially with the kids. So we were just saying school tournaments and major tournaments.
You can modify your motion to include middle school tournaments, high school tournaments, and city sanctioned tournaments with the registered.
Let me ask something real quick. You don't know how many people are gonna register until the day of, is that right?
Now we said, so like Memorial, for example, we have a cutoff of about 2 weeks before the tournament starts. We know how many we're gonna have. And Memorial is one night, 190 participants, but they also have spectators that will come out and watch. And then, so you're talking 200 plus that whole weekend. It's out there up and down the River Road. And same thing with these, even you were saying the Jarowski, the Show Me the Money. Yes, we may have 120 plus, but they may have, their family will come up there and watch and follow. So we're talking, it's a lot of people that will be out there. Same thing with the junior high.
400 people.
I mean, you'll get a lot.
3-4 people for 5.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so we're talking, you'll have a lot of people out there on the road at that given time. And like I said, the smaller stuff, if I know it's not going to break that 120 mark, we try to just limit it to just 2 times on that. So we're not closing the courts down for less than 100 people.
All right, so I'm gonna make an amendment to my motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the closure of Marina Road for golf tournaments that include middle school, high school, city sanctioned tournaments that include
Second.
Could you maybe say junior events?
Junior events. Or determined by staff that there is significant possible bodily injury to passerbyers if there's a golf tournament and people want to drive down.
Is there a, certain time of the week that the junior or middle school and high school tournaments are they during the day, weekdays or the weekends?
So the high school, we try to keep theirs on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then, that's the boys and the girls. And then the junior high, we try to keep them during the middle of the week when we're not peak busy time.
So, can I clarify?
Yeah, that's.
You added staff in there, but he is staff, so the way it
Yeah,
worked
no,
the first time would still give him that.
I want to be, I was joking, I'm part of that. Basically, I want to take it to the 100 on 100 participants and then add the junior golf tournaments. Period. The rest of us, that's.
Kathy, second. You second.
You still second?
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion and possible action regarding 63 months lease of a new printer copier for the police department from Visual Edge IT in the amount of $508.73 per month.
Mayor and council, the police department would like to, enter into this agreement, Visual Edge, that's who we're with now. We're almost to the end of our 63-month lease with them, we're in November, it's getting close anyway. Going back 5 or so years ago, there was an agreed amount of color and black and white copies. Over time, we were using it more, and we're going over our limits, so we're spending a little more than our monthly allowance of $439 right now, going up about $60 to $80 a month to $508. I think we'll actually save money because with this new agreement, they're giving us many more black and white and color copies. Plus, if we do go over sometime in the future, there's going to be less per copy for the overages than we're being charged right now in the current agreement. So it should save us money certainly for the next several years until we're in this position again where down the road we're making more copies than we have to do. So I think it's a good deal, it'll save us money, we'll have to rework it a few months anyway in the next budget, and I can come up with the extra roughly $600 to $800 in other line items besides my regular line item. And we're paying it again, we're paying it right now for overages, so I'm happy to do that. And what we're actually asking for is the lease agreement being over a year, we need council's approval for the manager to enter into the lease agreement. So it's actually permission to enter into the long lease agreement over 1 year, so we're actually permission.
Make a motion to approve the 63-month lease with Xerox Ultimate CA 235 Visual Edge IT for a cost of $508.73 a month, $6104.76 a year.
Second.
Chief, is this a 1 year lease?
No, sir, it's 63 months.
So additional 63 months.
Yeah, so we'll start a brand new one right now for 63 months. I asked why 63 months, that's 5 years and 9 months, he couldn't tell me.
That's we didn't go out for other proposals.
We did look at one other copier they had that originally was going to be a little more expensive.
From another company.
Oh. We're happy with it. One thing, the copier we have is Xerox, currently we're using, we've been very happy. It's, again, 5, pushing a half years old, starting to make some odd noises. There's discoloring on the plastic, turning that yellow. It's starting to look kind of pretty, it's various degrees of yellow, but it's working well, and we like it. But we'll get to the end of our agreement. I'm talking to the salesperson, and this is the same one that's been working with the library that y'all approved for Shonda right before Christmas, same company, same salesperson. He's able to get us this copy of one model number up. It looks exactly like the one we have, it should function. So that makes the staff very happy. We're not going to have to learn a new system, and again, we like what we have. So, he did entertain another one that he thought would be maybe a newer, fancier, better deal. It was gonna be a little more a month for the same company. We were a little reluctant to move outside of something we really like, this current Xerox. It's almost the same.
And what's the cause for the increase in the number of copies in this digital age? Like, why are we using so many more than we were 2 or 3 years ago? Report printing programs. I mean, there's that many more reports than we did?
We knocked it around, honestly, I can't tell you for sure, but I can only guess. We're five years and a few months into this one, so it was a little cheap ago, and we entered into it. So I don't know why they came with those numbers at the time, and they worked well for a while. But we just do a lot. It's not like, I can say we haven't increased our staff a lot, but we're 24/7, 365. Everybody knows we're there. We've got a copier. We do a lot of reports. It just seems like everything in our service takes a lot more these days, so I'm just going to guess there's more copies. Overly interested, I'll be glad to talk with Kelly and Mary and see if we can.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, what's causing our decrease in printing and copies, and, is there one thing that we're doing, is there something that we can change?
What's really odd,
I mean, a lot of reports, they're all digital now.
That's what I was about to say. Kelly has really gotten into trying to digitize as much as she can, specifically our reports that go to the county attorney. There are certain things that she has to print, but not near as much as she used to. They go digitally to them, but they're not the only people that comply with reports. And I just can't tell you exactly. If you're concerned, I can do my best to try to express to the department to try to minimize and cut down the best we can. But I do know we're going over significantly and have been for over a year now. And so I don't know if I could get them. And again, we're going to have to renegotiate in September anyway, or quicker during the budget process, I guess, here in a few months. So we do right here doing it again.
And this is currently, you can find money in your budget to cover this cost.
It's only going to be about the contract, about $81 a month. So, around $1,000, give or take. And we're spending that now on our overages anyway. I think this will actually save us money.
Yes, sir.
For now. Now, 3 or 4 years from now, some kind of reasons that I can't explain to you now that I can't explain to you then.
I wouldn't expect that we should be going over for.
Not with these numbers, just gives us a lot of leeway in our numbers for the future. So I can't imagine unless something weird happens in our service over here, in addition to people that are responsibilities or something. This should cover us for a while, is my guess.
Yes, sir.
To answer your question about the quote, we have a contract with Visual Edge to do the maintenance and contracts for all of our city facilities, printers and copiers.
Yeah, a lot of those copiers, Charlie comes in and deal with it where I'm at. Some of the copy, it's a cutthroat business and they may give you a lower price, but it's not a new machine. They'll give you a refurb and then lower the price. These are all new machines because we deal with. It's ironic because I live at the same company over there in Vernon. So.
Sounds good.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion to adjourn into executive session.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? The City Council of the City of Lampasas, Texas will meet in closed executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, as follows. Section 551.074, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, or discipline of the public officers or employees, city managers, and other personnel matters as allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Section 551.074, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employee, or evaluation, reassignment duties, or discipline of the public officer or employees, city secretary, and other personnel matters by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Section 551.087, economic